iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome, folks, to the Joe Six Pack Racing League here for the Truck Series. Right now, we got qualifying underway here at the Monster Mile here at Dover. We got a good one on our hands, folks, as we'll see these drivers try and tackle this track for 90 laps here for the Concrete Jungle 90. We are underway in the middle of qualifying right now, and I believe looks like Doug Neal is at the top of the charts right now with a 22.98. We will see if anyone can top his time here as cars are going around in qualifying. Now, some unique track facts here about the Dover International Speedway while we wait for qualifying to wrap up. It is a mile in length. It is all concrete, so we'll see the drivers not only having to tackle the track, but also tackle the lines here with the concrete, especially on iRacing, moving around and having a groove move around with it. So we'll be interested to see how the drivers can handle this place here tonight. It has 24 degrees of banking in the turns here and about 9 degrees down the straightaways. Has 54,000 fans in capacity when it is full. It was opened in 1969 as the Dover Downs for the dual-purpose facility with horse racing and autos racing as well. The first race here in 1971 was won by the one and only the King, Richard Petty. In 2000, the Dover International Speedway held its first Truck Series race. It was won by Kurt Busch, who was also on pole position. So we'll see if the pole sitter tonight can repeat and pull off the Kurt Busch here. The most wins at Dover with 11 wins held by the 7-time champ of Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson was able to tame the beast 11 times to hold the most wins at Dover International Speedway. And now, of course, we got to talk about Miles the Monster here at Dover. He is 40,000 pounds of concrete there, holding a NASCAR. I believe right now it is Jimmy Johnson's car still. So, and he is 7 feet tall with about 60 feet wide. So if you ever get a chance, you can actually kind of see him in that shot there, just on the north side of the speedway there. So pretty cool stuff that iRacing has it included. But we are excited here because it looks like qualifying is mostly wrapped up, and it looks like Levi McCarthy is on the pole in the 51 machine. Looks like we had about 26 cars take a time here tonight, so looking forward. It should be an awesome race here. As we click over to the end of qualifying here, about 20 seconds left. Looks like maybe one car on track, the 27th car trying to take a lap. We'll see where he can end up overall. Looks like he slots in about 17th right there. Alrighty, now we'll go down to the grid and go through tonight's starting lineup here. So for the Concrete Monster 90 here at Joe's Six Pack Racing League, on the pole position is Levi McCarthy in the 51 machine. Starting to his outside is Keith Fornesca in the 61. Starting third is Doug Neal in the 978. Starting fourth is Wes Frank Norman in the 72. Rounding out your top five is John Humphrey in the 4. Starting sixth is Al Reed in the 3. Seventh place is Michael Rossenberger in the 55. Eighth place is Ethan Michaels in the 01. Ninth place is Scott Forrester in the 85. Rounding out your top 10 is Johnny Baker in the 6 machine. Starting in P11 is Gene Cato in the 8. Starting 12th is Rob Lowe in the 5. In 13th, we got Brad Yukman in the 93. 14th is Nigel Patton in the 108. Starting 15th is Brandon Ward in the 88. 16th is Jason Wiley in the 13. 17th is Eli Ropanza in the 20. 18th is David Lugma. You gotta excuse me, David, in the 34 car. You definitely have to tell me how to pronounce your last name there. Starting 19th is Kevin Germoni in the 22. 20th is Darren Wells in the 45. As we get the camera back. 21st is Richard Weifenbach in the 31. Joe Nelson in the 76 machine will start in the 22nd position. 23rd is Marty Brown in the 41. 24th is Greg Dress in the 64. 25th is Matthew Wheeler in the 21. Jeff Crosby Sr. in the 33 will start 26th. 27th is Wayne Dewey in the 11. And rounding out your field tonight is James Krause in the 69 machine. As the trucks start to pull off, we start getting under pace here for this 90-lap main event. We'll go to the front of the field here and look at this nice 51 Gravedigger machine. We'll watch him lead us to green. As we'll look at this starting field here, try and get some cool shots here. The shots are brought to you by Track Cams 22. Be sure if you like what you're seeing, be sure to leave a comment. And be sure to comment for your favorite driver as well. If you want to see a certain driver out on track, be sure to leave a comment. Just like my man Roger Muth saying, "Hi, Brett." So we are coming to green here. We'll wait for the 51 machine to fire on off. Pace car is in. And the 51 machine fires off. We are green flag racing. We're about to uncage these animals and open up the stables for 90 laps around Dover International Speedway. As the 51 gets a great start over second place, who now falls into third here. We'll pull up the timing and scoring. So Levi McCarthy gets an awesome start here, followed by Doug Neal in second. And McCarthy already up to a 3/10, of second of a lead here over second place. So I have to see if he continues to hold this gap or if he starts pushing too hard, because even though these cars aren't the most powerful of the NASCAR cars, they're definitely heavy. So you have to be very gentle on that right front as the run goes on, and we'll have to see how these drivers do it here tonight. I know the problem spot will be coming off of turn 2 with that wall closing in so quickly, so we'll see if anyone has any trouble there. As we hear some wrecking here in the back, we'll have to see what may have brought out the yellow. As we'll go try and find what happened here. Looks like maybe they're already wrecking down the front stretch. We'll see what brought out the yellow flag here coming down the front stretch. It looks like a little bit of net code with the 21 and the 45. And oh my goodness, the 41 going for a wild ride. Same with the 45 as well. Holy smokes, some wild rides here already early at Dover. We'll maybe have to ride on board with the 45 here and see what he saw. As he goes for, like I said before, a wild ride. Same with that 41. So a couple wild rides early in this race. As we'll try and ride on board with him. As we see him already coming down, and there's the hit that sends him on over, and what a ride he goes on. As that was towards the middle of the pack, so I believe quite a few cars caught up in that. Some cars out already had to tow, so it looks like the 41 with some heavy damage. The 45, of course, the 76 with some heavy damage. The 21 as well. And it looks like also the 33 also on pit road from some heavy damage with that. But a wild wreck to start us off here early in this race, but the classic old iRacing phenomenon of netcode claims a few more cars here in its time of being alive. So we'll have to see how this goes out. Looks like no one came down onto pits for some new tires, so there's only 2 sets of tires in this race, so drivers will have to use them wisely, as there is only 60% capacity fuel too, so that'll throw a little bit of fuel strategy in this race as well, as I believe they'll have to pit at least once here tonight at Dover. As we do have a couple takers down pit road. Looks like the 13 machine of Jason Wiley will come on down. Looks like some good amount of right side damage. There are fast repairs in this league, so if you do get damaged, that does not mean your night's over early. You can come down pit road and get your car quote unquote instantly repaired by your crewmen, but you only got a limited amount of those, so you gotta use them wisely or not too early, especially lap 5 of a 90 lap race. It's definitely early to be using one, but if you're involved in that wreck heavily like that 41 or the 45 machine, you'll definitely want to use them and to at least keep pace here tonight. As already in the chats, we got a fan of the Team Simbox, Doug Neal, out here. Doug had an awesome start there early on in this race. We'll get a close-up of that Simbox 978, sweet-looking machine there. So Doug having a good run to start off the race. We'll have to see what he can do in that Simbox 978. A sweet-looking car. I know I said that, but I'll say it again because love me some neon-colored cars out here. I heard he does some pretty good work with those Simboxes, so if you're ever in the market for a sim box, be sure to check them on out, or button box in general. As the lights on the pace car are extinguished here, folks. We are getting ready to go back green next time by. As we are lap 7 of 90, the laps continue to click on off here. Especially with a race with only 90 laps here, qualifying is going to be so important as the season goes on to make sure you get that good starting track position to get some clean air and to stay out of some melee. As we wait for the pace car to pull on off, pace car makes the hard left-hand turn. We'll wait for the 51 to fire off. He fires off early. He can fire off whenever he wants. And we are green flag racing here at Dover for the second time here tonight. As the field tries to string on out, the top 4 are already single file. 5th place side by side, looks like they are going to single file out coming out of turn 2 here. Look back a little bit further at some side-by-side action. The 6 and the 5 car side-by-side here, as well as behind them, trying to figure out who wants the line, who can hang on to it. The 5 car in the throttle. I don't know if he got the wall there, but he had some kahunas hanging on in there and not lifting as we get another yellow flag here. I believe in turns 1 and 2. We'll have to try and find out what happened. As we'll jump back in the replay here and see what happened, as it looks like some contact here between as the 85 looks like he got turned there. We'll have to see, as oh man, 8 car maybe drove it in there a little bit deeper. The 85 lifted early, but some contact on corner entry, never a good sign. And then I think there might be a little bit more as the 85 car starts to roll on down, and oh man, heavy contact with the 21 trying to get on through. So a bummer for both those cars there. As we'll go back up to the front of the field here and see what everyone's looking like. Looks like most people are staying out once again in this race, so maybe a little bit more of attrition that time. I believe only 2 or 3 cars involved, so not as big as the first one, as most people were able to get on through that. Roger saying in the comments, Doug puts together some good sim boxes over at Simbox PC over on Facebook. So, yep, a little plug for some sponsors here. If you need some box, head on over there and he'll hook you on up. As for the old Joe Six-Pack Sim Racing League, we are currently live here on Tuesday nights. I believe they have a Sunday night Cup series as well as a Formula V series starting on up. So be sure if you're interested in some truck, cup, or Formula V racing. I tell you what, those Formula Vs are a bunch of fun on the road course racing. About 40 to 60 horsepower, if that. I believe it's closer to 40. And just a bunch of fun to wheel around the track. Absolutely no downforce, but all about momentum. They're a blast when I've tried them on out. But the truck stuff and NASCAR stuff, you can never go wrong with that too. So if you're ever interested, be sure to check them out over on Facebook and join their Discord. We'll be talking to a few other drivers here tonight after the race over on their Discord. The top 3 we'll be talking to, of course, the race winner, whoever that may be tonight. Levi McCarthy's putting on a good showing that he might be the one to beat, but Doug Neal will not give it up easy as he'll keep on applying the pressure here in this race. And the biggest mover up near the front of the field is actually this 3 car of Al Reed, in these short green flag runs that we've had, he's already made it up 3 positions in this field. So we'll see if he's got anything to give to these leaders. He will be starting on the inside line, which is the preferred line here at Dover. So we'll see how he can get a restart, can fire off right behind the leader. So that will be an advantage to the 3 car on this restart. Well, Roger asked if we got any number 39 trucks out here tonight, and I don't believe we do, actually. The closest number we get to is a 30, I believe a 35 machine in the 30s. So, no 39 machine out here tonight. As the lights are extinguished once again on the pace car, we will be going green flag racing here once again for the 3rd restart of the night. Well, the 2nd restart of the night. We will keep an eye on this front pack as they restart and see how they get off into turn 1. So far, the 51 has had some awesome restarts, but as these tires get older, the restarts will definitely become more and more sketchy with wheel spin, especially here with on the concrete. I know I've had my fair share of wheel spin and almost wrecking the car with wheel spin trying to get on it here at Dover with the banking and everything else. So drivers will have to keep that in mind as they keep on pounding these tires into this concrete. As the pace car is off on the track, we'll wait for the 51 to fire on off. He fires on off, gets another great restart, and we are green flag racing here once again. The 3 car is up besides the 978, but the 978 gets the run and will clear him into 1. Side-by-side battle for 4th place there behind him for the 61 and the 4 machine. The 4 machine has to back off of it, so the 61 will keep the spot. As we got a 3 car breakaway here at the front over 4th place. The 3 car looks to the inside of the 938 going into corner entry. A gutsy move there. He makes it stick but doesn't carry the momentum. The 938 will defend his position here. As the 3 car will collect his marbles again, wind it back up and see if he can set another attack here in a lap or 2. If we look back a little bit further at some cars side by side here, we got the 8 of Kevin Gironi with the 22 is Kevin, and then the 8 of Gene Cato here side by side battling. Gene a little bit of damage on the back end, not slowing him down a lot, but it's gonna hurt that car a little bit down the straightaways. Has a pretty cool sticker bomb 22 machine, I have to say. It's pretty not bad looking out there for cars. Be sure to let us know what your favorite car is out on track if you got one. As most people are single filing out, it looks like we might have a green flag run on our hands till I jinx us here in a second. As we got some cars battling into turn 1. I believe the 5 car almost once again got the wall off of turn 4. We'll see how close he gets to the wall here coming off of turn 2. As contact in front of him maybe? Oh, there it goes. And he saves it. Holy smokes, the 72 machine of Wes Frank Norman saves that car from some contact as we just saw at the apex. So awesome save by that 72 machine to keep that thing facing the right direction and no one else piling into it. So as, oh my goodness, a car flipping in the air there. Holy smokes, we'll have to see who that was. I think that was the 34 machine of David Log. Oh boy, the last name I can't say. We'll just say David L until he corrects me. And oh man, some good old iRacing in there with him being able to launched off that wall. As we'll watch a little bit further on back, we'll kind of see what happened, see if it was contact or if he just got loose in that 34 machine. We'll see he's battling side by side with the 6 and the 8 car as he comes off the corner here We'll have to see. As a 6 car, oh, I don't think he knew he was down there. Maybe he tried to cross over and try and see if he was open, and oh my goodness. What a wreck for that 34 car. We'll have to be towed to pit road, and we'll be going some lap down. So a tough break for that 34 car with a crazy wreck there. So we've already seen 2 cars upside down at Dover. We'll maybe have to ask the comment section, see how many we're thinking here tonight. Maybe we'll be the upwards of 3. If not, maybe we'll be in the 5 range by the end of the night. As some cars continue to come down pit road. I don't believe any strategy yet, but we are almost a third of the way in this race, so we'll have to see some strategy here start developing, as the drivers do have 2 sets of tires over the wall here for tonight's race. As we'll run through the top 10 while we have a quick second. So Levi McCarthy still leads. He has led every lap of this race so far. In second, we still got the 978 of Doug Neal. In third place is Al Reed in that 3 truck. Fourth place is Keith Fonesca in the 61. Fifth place is John Humphrey in the 4. Sixth place is Ethan Michaels in the 01 machine. That's another sweet looking truck out here tonight. Fifth place is Michael Roethlisberger in the 55. Eighth place is Nigel Patton in the 108. Ninth place is Brandon Ward in the 88 Goodwrench machine. And rounding out your top 10, the 5 machine of Rob Lell. As the lights become extinguished on the iRacing pace car here, that will mean next time by we'll be going green flag racing here at Dover. So this will be the 3rd restart of the night. We got about 5 laps of green flag in there, so I assume the next yellow we'll see some cars take some tires, if not at least come in and top off on fuel. We'll wait for the pace car to make the hard left-hand turn. And as I said before, or was trying to say before, the 51 can fire off at any time. He does not have to wait to see the green flag like if it was the initial start or the one attempt at a green-white checker we'll have tonight. We'll wait for the 51 to fire on off. And he fires on off, gets another awesome restart here as he has done all night long. And we are back green flag racing here at Dover. Once again, the top 3 are single file, I believe side by side for 4th. They have single filed out as well behind them, so everyone falling into line here quickly, trying to manage their stuff to try and have a long run. We got some side-by-side battles here. The 55 and the 88 going at it here on this restart. 55 just clears the 88 here, and they will go back single file here at Dover. So give the position still to Michael Rosenberg in that 55 machine. got Carson in the chat. What's up? Always good to have everyone out there in the YouTube chat lands. Always makes the broadcast way more fun. And be sure to leave your favorite car number, favorite car out on track, as we got some smoke up here. I do not know where that smoke was coming from, but everyone in the front seems to be alright. As Levi continues to lead the way here, the front two of Levi and Doug have kind of broken away from Al, and Al might be under fire here in a minute from that 61 machine, as the 61 machine goes to his inside. We'll see who gets the better run off of 4. The 3 car will have it, but the 61 will regather his marbles, wind that thing back up, and go on the attack here once again here in about a lap or so. That's the thing with these trucks, folks, at home watching, is they're one of the most even cars on iRacing, especially on the NASCAR side of things. So when a driver has a mistake or you have a run, you have to take it that time, because as you see, it'll take a couple laps to even get back to a bumper, especially with everyone on similar tires. There's one car in the wall off of turn 2. I believe that was the 01 machine of Ethan Michaels there, hard into that wall. So like I said earlier this race, as we see 3 wide down the front stretch behind, that these walls come up very quickly here at Dover, especially with how early you get on the throttle to have a good lap. So we'll have to see how many more cars that wall collects, as I believe further back in this field they got it all sorted out and back only double file. As we pass over a third of the way in this race, you see Brandon Ward under fire from that 93 machine, able to defend his position. As the 93 gets another good run on the 88. Looks like he is a little slow on the straightaway, so that will open up the door for the rest of the field to get to form a freight train on by, because once you get outside the groove, it's really hard to get back in, especially if there's a train of trucks just like there is now. That's a 72, man, 2-for-1 special in that corner. The 72 on a mission from that earlier contact, all the way back up into 13th, as being as low as I believe around 20th out there on track. So he is having an awesome rebound. We'll have to see him continue to fight through this field, as he is now applying the pressure to the 20 truck out here. Him go to the high side and probably cross back on over and shoot low, as he got big time loose out there. Another car in the wall down the back stretch, another car in, another truck in the inside wall as well. So Miles the Monster is not being kind to these trucks out here tonight. We'll have to see how they go through, as whoa, the 20 car shoots low late in braking there, and the 72 has to make evasive maneuvers trying to pass on the high side. We don't see this too often at Dover, as he does clear the pass, and now he tries to make it 3 wide, thinks better of it there, gets out of the throttle as he tries to once again get a 2-for-1 special of the 93 and the 5 car in front of him. So the 72 machine is on a mission here, folks, right now. So we got a question out there in the YouTube lands. Who's in truck 85? And that would be the Scott Forrester. He went for he got sent there, I believe, in turn 1 earlier in this race, but trying to rebound here and is in 19th here, but picking off trucks, as you see a couple damaged trucks in front of him. So if he keeps that truck clean, he'll have for sure at least about 5 more positions by the end of this race, as that 85 truck looks nice and clean here, coming up to halfway in this race. As one car hard off of turn 4. Holy smokes. I don't know who that was, but that was some hard contact. As I believe we'll have one car trying to come down pit road. So if we do get green flag pit stops, this track is one of the toughest tracks to pit under green. So we'll have to keep an eye on that with this race here tonight, because this is I personally believe the trickiest pit road to get on into. As we look here at the leader, he actually has a good amount of right side damage on this 51 truck, but is still able to keep pace over Doug Neal in second. So pretty impressive to see that 51 truck running as well as he is with that damage. So we have a question: who is the biggest mover? And that would be this nice stickered Bob Machine 22 of Kevin Dramoni in 7th, up 12 positions. But also in front of him here, the 108 of Nigel Patton, and the 108 is up 10 positions as well. So some pretty big movers inside the top 6, about to be the top 5, as Kevin Dramoni gets around Ethan Michaels for 6th position. So now he sets his sight on Al Reed here. Here we go. So we'll look at the time difference between Dramoni, who's the biggest mover of this race, and Al Reed in front of him here. So he has been catching him all the laps. This lapper will make it interesting here, as now Dramoni can get right to the back bumper of Reed in front of him. So we'll see how the lap times. This lap won't show it the best, but he has been reeling in Dramoni here every single lap. So that time they matched lap times, but now Dramoni might have a run as he looks to the inside of this 3 car and gets the run off the corner. The 3 car had to get out of the throttle to not hit the wall. That leaves the door open for the 01 machine and the 72. So the 72 of Wes Frank Norman continuing his rebound here all the way up to now 8th position here, as he tries to make it 7th if he clears this 3 truck, and it looks like he will off of turn 2 here. So move the 72 machine up to 7th, now into 6th, as he gets around the 01 of Ethan Michaels, as he had to lift and did not get a good run off that corner. So he is another big mover, as it's some contact, and they both keep it all the right direction between Michaels and Reed. And some awesome racing here mid-pack in this race. As we see here, Levi McCarthy has checked out to almost a 2-second lead over Doug Neal, who then on top of that has about 1.5 second lead over Keith Fonesca in that 61 car, and then he has a 6-second lead over Ford. So these top 3 have checked out compared to this field, but the rest of the field is under some awesome battles here, as we see some of the biggest movers of the race right here in this group of 3 cars. As we get a yellow flag just past halfway, we'll have to see what brought out the yellow here, as we see off at turn 2. As it looks like maybe the 5 car maybe, oh man, it looks like he maybe missed pit road, tried to get on the throttle with those old tires on Dover, And oh man, some cars piling on in, not being able to make evasive maneuvers quickly enough. And a bummer for some of these drivers here in this middle part of this race as we go live here to cars down pit road. As we see the leaders come down pit road, we'll have to see what the strategy is. I believe 4 fresh Goodyear tires and fill it up with Sunoco fuel. As Dover is another tough track for speeding, drivers will have to make sure they maintain pit speed all the way down and not slide through their concrete boxes. There is little grip in the box as well. As we see the right side's going up for the top 3 here. They set back down. Now the left sides will go on up on these trucks. We'll see how they come on out, as it looks like the 51 will just beat the 978 out, and no changes at the front for positions here. As we go back to this field, a lot of cars taking the wave around here and waiting to pit. But the 72 machine is staying out. We'll see if he stays out for a to lead a lap, or if he'll actually try and lead this field, as I believe someone just blew up as they're coasting to pit road. So what a lucky time to blow up their cars. The 72 does stay out another time, so we may have a new race leader for the first time here tonight on lap 51. It'll be the 72 of West Frank Norman. We got a Jeff Crosby senior fan here in the YouTube chats. Jeff was involved in an early race, so he is down on the scoring charts right now. A bit of damage to that Skull 33 machine, so we're hoping he can rebound on for all those fans, or come back next week a little bit stronger, because a little bit of a tough break for that 33 here early in this race. As we go back up to the front. Also, the 85 machine of Scott Forster did stay out as well, so we'll have a brand new front row of the 72 machine and the 85 when we go green. We'll have to see how they hang on out to with these guys with fresh tires behind them. Yep, there are points for this league there. I thought I heard they're ARCA style points, so they'll be updated at the end after this race based on finishing position. I do not know if there's bonus points here tonight. I need to do some double checking here. But overall, we're in for a treat, as we got a new front row on this restart here, so we'll have to see how everyone holds their own. As the man to beat so far in this race, it seems like Levi will be starting P3, so we'll see how aggressive he is on the start, as the 72 can fire off whenever, once the pace car makes that hard left-hand turn down pit road. As the field will bunch up behind here this start, we'll wait for the 72 to fire on off. It's waiting, and he fires on off. We are green flag racing here for the 4th restart of tonight's race. You see Levi already looking to the inside of that 85 machine. But the 72 got an awesome start. We'll have to see where this shakes everyone on out. They come off of turn 2. As these leaders are bumper to bumper, Levi will look to the inside here, has his nose to the inside of the 72 machine. The 72 was able to hold on for a lap here with old tires, but has to, whoa man, does an awesome job keeping it in the throttle, but also staying off that wall. But now he'll be on the wrong end of the freight train as Doug Neal is applying the pressure to this 51 car. Maybe he's knows it's go time and maybe thinks that Levi has the long run speed, so maybe Doug is trying to take advantage of these fresh tires, maybe try and get in the clean air and put Levi behind him in the dirty air. As he is all over the back bumper of that 51 truck. As even though they are not side by side, this is the battle on track, because all it takes is one little mistake from Levi, and that opens up the door wide open for Doug to get around this 51 car. As it looks like Doug's able to roll the middle maybe a little bit better than that 51 machine. That 51 machine able to drive it in there deep, and it seems like gets off the corner pretty well. We'll see if maybe we can get the in-car shot of this 978. Look at the in-car of Levi. Now we'll get to Doug here and see what he is seeing here. Oh, you see there, Levi makes a mistake. Doug had to lift though, so couldn't take full advantage of that mistake here. We'll have to see if he gets another shot at him as we ride on board for the Joe's Six Pack Podcast onboard shot. As sitting in Doug's position, I've been here many a times, right behind the leader. You cannot make a mistake. You cannot overdrive this car, because one mistake from you could end the leader's night as well as yours. And that's how you don't make friends here. As Doug may have just got the apron a little, had to wait a split second on the throttle, and you can see already Levi pulling away 2 truck lengths already with just that one bobble. So that's how quickly things can get away from you here at Dover. So Doug will have to put together a couple perfect laps to reel back in Levi to keep on putting on the pressure, because that's Doug's best friend right now. Try and get up to his bumper, hit the B button as the old intimidate button, and try and see if he can make Levi make a mistake here in these closing laps. As he is reeling back in this leader slowly, he is down to about a car length and a half. He has to keep on hitting his marks here. As he gets the apron again, now slowing back up as we got a lapper coming on now. Oh my goodness. The leader had to lift there, and that opens back up the door. As we got one car stopped down at the apron, he's at least off the racing surface, so no, oh, there is the yellow for it, so we will be under yellow flag here. Well, I have to see if maybe we can find out what happened. As we'll see, oh my goodness, another car flying here at Dover. We'll have to maybe bring it back a little bit further, as the 11 just clips the 3, and good old iRacing physics launches a car backwards on track, and then oh man, the 88 has nowhere to go, clobbers him, and then let's see where. As I believe they're still crashing somewhere else, but I do not see it on my end. So another vicious wreck here at Dover. So Dover has not been kind to these truckers here tonight, as we are on lap 66 of 90. We have clicked to 25 laps to go here in race 1 of the Joe Six Pack Racing Series. This will be a 13-week season here over at this series. A couple road courses, a super speedway thrown in there, a couple short tracks, my favorite. So can't wait to see what these truckers have to offer here at the short tracks as we will look forward to the season with these guys. Has about 5 cars in total down on pit road from that accident, so with us under yellow here for a minute, we'll maybe talk about some specs of these trucks. So these have a 358 small block Chevy in them, or 358 cubic engine. The Chevys will have a small block Chevy in them. They are still naturally aspirated machines with carbureted, making 625 horsepower unrestricted, about 425 restricted horsepower. So they weigh 3,450 pounds in total with the drivers in it. So it makes them pretty heavy, pretty rough on the right front. So these fast guys will be able to really save this right front, especially on iRacing, where all you get to feel is the wheel and your eyes. You don't get any seat of the pants feel here in iRacing. So these drivers really know how to save a right front tire. And a 112-inch wheelbase on these trucks here. Of course, you got the 3 different makes here out on track. You got the Toyotas, which is leading here, the Toyota Tundra of Levi McCarthy. And second place is being represented by the Chevy Silverado of Doug Neal. And then we got to look all the way back to 15th right now to the 72 of Wes Frank Norman for the Ford F-150. I believe Wes Frank came in there and took some tires, so we'll see if he can slice and dice his way back through this field and see where he can get back up to position-wise. As the lights are extinguished once again here for the 5th restart of the night, we will look like we may have had a car blink out there and come back in, as hopefully they get the connection issue sorted on out, but we'll wait for the 51 car just like normal to fire on off. With this rate, folks, there is one single attempt at a green-white checkered here in this series, so we'll have to see if it comes into effect tonight or if these boys can sort it on out for these 20 or so laps here to go at the Monster Mile. We'll see if Doug has anything to fight with this 51 as he gets an early launch here. We are back green flag racing here, and the 51 of Levi once again gets an awesome restart, clears himself to about 3 truck lengths here going into 1, as Doug will try and reel him back in and apply that pressure, see if he can make Levi make a mistake and see if he can claim this lead for the first time here tonight. Dover is a bad, fast racing track. We see speeds close to 160 miles an hour by the time they lift in the corner. So what's really treacherous about this track is the corner speed. You can really hustle a car or a truck in these corners and make it stick. Even though it's concrete, you still have to be gentle with it, but you can really make up some ground on the car in front of you if you can really trust it and hustle it on in there without burning up your stuff. Got some side-by-side battles further on back. The 93 machine gets around him, clears him, and sets his sight here further on up. Here we got the 4 of John Humphreys side by side with the 13 of Jason Wiley here. Looks like Jason will get the run off of turn 4 and clear himself. That will open up the door for Ethan Michaels. Used a fast repair. Now that 01 truck looks nice and clean here. We'll see where he can get back up to. I think he was running as high as 4th or 5th place. We'll see if he can get back up there here in the closing laps of this race. See one truck on the apron there coming off of pit road. You see these guys continue to battle. Now the 93 car is putting the pressure on the 4 car. It's to his inside, but doesn't have the run off the corner. The 4 car will defend his position. We'll see if the 93 can wind it back on up here at Dover and mount another attack as he gets a good run off of 2 already. And with 15 laps to go, we'll get a couple speed shots here of this race. We'll let the trucks do the talking here while we're under green flag. Has some awesome shots there from those static cams. Always love those. As we get one last good one down the backstretch right there on the track. As we come to 12 laps to go. Levi McCarthy still leads the way and now has grown his lead to about a second over Doug Neal. And then Kevin Germani, the biggest mover of this race. Actually, second biggest mover is Wayne Dewey now is in the top 10. So Kevin here, though, has made it up 16 positions here tonight and is actually reeling in Doug Neal for this second position. So if he keeps this pace, as we get a yellow flag here, this throws a wrench in everything. As we try and see what, as we got another truck flipping here. As we see the 85 car of Roger wanted to check out that car. Now we've seen the underside of it here. So we'll have to see what happened, what kind of ride this 85 car went for as he hit the inside wall with the contact from the 11 and the 41 and up and over, very Dover-esque. So we've seen 3 cars upside down here at Dover here tonight. So Dover has not been kind. As now it becomes, do you come for tires here with 10 laps to go or do you stay on out? Now here comes the strategy as most drivers have one extra set of tires. So this is where the crew chief starts stressing and where the crew chiefs make the big bucks. Do you call your driver down to pit road to take this last set? Do you hope there's another yellow and maybe save it for just only the green-white checkered? Or do you stay out there and hope that we get consecutive yellows in a row and don't even get the chance? This is where I would not enjoy being a crew chief on any of these, on top of any of these boxes. As we see here, oh, Doug Neal fakes it on out. I thought for sure he was coming on in, but Keith will lead whoever else comes down behind him. Not too many takers, surprisingly. I thought for sure with Doug faking them out, he would bring a lot more trucks with him. So Keith might be in the wrong boat here with how little cars have pitted behind him. So we'll have to keep an eye on the 61 truck, see how many other trucks he can get around in these short amount of laps left in this race. As especially if I was even 5th on back, for sure 10th on back, it looks like most people pitted from there. But for sure 10th on back, I would for sure take my driver on in here, get the 4 fresh tires, and wind up these trucks and send it on the outside and see how many positions I can make on up in the short amount of times. As I'm reading some of the YouTube comments, these are sadly not some Australian super utes. I wish they were. Those would be a blast to drive here, but still just the American powered, for the most part, trucks out here. Except for the few Toyotas out here on track. Still got some American blood in them. And yes, very true. That wreck was very reminiscent of Logano's flip here in that 20 car when he went barrel rolling down into turn 3, very similar to that. So you see, we had a few unrealistic wrecks here tonight, folks, but a couple realistic ones. As the lights are extinguished on this pace car, we will be going green here with 7 laps to go. Now the gloves come off. If you got anything left in the tank, now's the time to use it. We'll see who can be throwing the haymakers and who will come out on top. Once we go back green, we'll have 7 laps to decide the winner of round 1 of the Joe 6-pack Truck Series. Now, I believe there's 2 wrecks during that. The one into 3, and then apparently there's one on the front stretch. So the front stretch one, we didn't have any cameras to cover. As we'll wait for the 51 to fire on off. He fires on off, gets a good restart, brings the 22 with him. So we may have a new second place driver, as the 22 and the 978 are side by side going into turn 1 here. Not the place Doug wanted to be, but can he keep the momentum and clear him on the outside? Looks like no, they'll be side by side going down this backstretch. Oh, he's wrecking into 3. Watch out. Oh, but he saves it. So, oh my goodness, what a save here for Doug. I don't think he lost any positions, because I think they wrecked further on in the back, so I don't think he was actually the cause of the yellow flag. As we'll look further on back, but we'll first look at this save. What a save for this 938, both getting hit in the rear twice to keep that thing facing the right direction. What an awesome save by Doug there. And we'll look further on in the back here and see what might have brought out this yellow, as the 6 car, I think, also wrecked. But I gotta say, what a save by that 978, as yeah, this is what brought out the yellow flag. Hard impact for that 6 car down that backstretch. Luckily, no one else was involved in, as I say that, the 76 comes in late and does get involved. So for the most part, most everyone did a good job avoiding that wreck as they continue to pile on in. But a hard impact for that 6 car here. But Doug does get to reclaim that second position, so we'll see how that 978 truck drives with that damage. He will just be trying to hold on, as now the top 3, at least 3 out of the top 4 have damage from that initial wreck, that non-yellow wreck, I should say, so. Keith is already up to P11 with those fresh tires. We'll see how, if he can reclaim any more ground. He didn't get too much time to try and pass some trucks, but is looking pretty solid for a top 10 here if he can get around one more truck in the next few restarts on those fresh tires. So quite a few wild wrecks to start off this series. Should be exciting, folks, to see what else we have to offer here. I'm looking forward to the rest of these races. These races have been action-packed. A couple more fun facts coming at you from Brett the Jet here. The most winners of the trucks here at Dover is everyone's favorite Kyle Busch. Here he has won at Dover 4 times. So we will see who can add their name to the winner book here at Dover here tonight. As we'll have, I believe, a 2-lap shootout. Not quite a green-white checkered yet, so they'll still have that in the bank. But a 2-lap shootout once they go green. As next time by at the start-finish line, the lights should be extinguished on this pace car. So this is setting up to be a wild finish here, folks. Don't tune away. Don't go to commercial. Make sure to get up and grab a snack. Go to the bathroom now, because it's about to get wild here at the end of this race. As the lights are extinguished on the pace car, we'll double them up for 1, if not 2 more times. We'll have to see how this shakes on out for these drivers. If you're Doug on this high side, you got to get the restart of your life. Really anticipate when the 51 goes. If you're the 51, you're already thinking about when you're going. Early, late. If I was in his shoes, I would be going as early as I could. Make sure that the 978 doesn't even get the chance to get the restart of his life. If I'm the 22, I'm trying to stay right on that 51's bumper, time that start perfectly with him, and pull up besides, clear that 978 into 1 and see what I have for this 51 machine. As these all play out and further on back, you're just hoping to survive. So as this plays all on out here, we'll have to see what unfolds as we wait for the pace car to pull on down pit road. The pace car is down pit road. We'll wait for the 51 to fire on off. He fires off early. Doug is sleeping just a little bit. That leaves the door open for the 22. The 22 maybe had to lift. The 978 clears him, but he brings the 108 with him too. So the 108 up to 3rd. The 22 having some major problems, falling back all the way to 6th. As we see the 108 looking to the inside of the 978, gets to his bumper. A little bit of bumper tag. 978 holds on to it. As we get to the final lap, the 108 looks to the inside. Oh, he blocks him. Oh, they make contact into 1. They all keep it somehow going the right direction. That moves the 93 into 2nd. As now they stack up all behind. Oh, major crash down the back. Holy smokes, cars flying everywhere down this backstretch. As we go to the front, what a wild last lap as Levi McCarthy wins this thing. Brad Yolkman from nowhere finishes 2nd, up 11 positions. And Doug Neal somehow hangs on to that car and finishes 3rd. What a wild race, folks. Holy smokes. Welcome to the series. Welcome to the league. Welcome to calling for me here at turn 3, because that is one way to end the race. As we will try and find out what happened on that last lap. Let's see if we can see what happened. As maybe this shows it. As that already... As we will go back live to Levi. But holy cow, what a finish. We will watch this 51 do some burnouts here and burn it on down as we'll get to the interviews here with the top three. We'll first talk to Doug Neal and see how he was able to hang on to that thing and survive that last lap mayhem there. As the 51 gets a well-deserved win here and burns it on down for the folks at home. I'm sure he has a lot of people to thank, a lot of people to congratulate him as he put on a show here tonight, folks. As now we'll go to our third place finisher here and see what he has to say. We'll see if we'll go to commercial for a second and come back for some interviews. Alrighty guys, so I'll pull you one at a time here and then we'll chat it on up. As we come back to live here, folks, it actually looks like we don't have our third place finisher of Doug here in here. So we'll actually end up talking to the 93 machine here and see what he has to say and see how he had navigated through that and got that finish here. Hey Brad, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Hey, I got you, Brett. How you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself? Wild finish there. How'd you manage to come through there and end up P3?
Actually, I think I came out P2.
Yeah, my bad. So used to interviewing third place first.
Oh, yeah. That was a wild finish there. I think my advantage, with 20-some laps ago, I was able to come and get tires. And then I was driving back up through the field, and I was hoping there would be no cautions. But then all the cautions started coming out, and they were just sliding everywhere, and I just happened to slide right on through second and third, rubbing each other, and took second.
Yeah, that was very impressive. I really wanted to talk to Doug there, see how he was able to hang on to that machine, but I tell you what, that was some melee. I don't know if you saw much in your rear view, but I believe that was a wild way to end the first race of the season. Definitely looking forward to calling the shots here coming next week.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to going back and watching the replay and all that, see what really happened.
Yeah, so, Brad, how was your truck overall in the race? I didn't see you too much especially inside the top five. I think you bid your time and you, like you said, I think you had the right strategy there and came out in the second place. Tell me what you were thinking and how was the car driving here tonight?
Actually, the truck was awesome. I was hanging out about 10th to 12th, just buying my time, watching the cautions, watching where everyone was going, and I knew tire strategy was going to come into play there. And when they didn't pit, coming in about 20-some laps to go, when I did, I knew I'd be able to drive up through the field.
Yeah, that was some awesome racing to watch, and yeah, you're on the move for sure throughout that whole race. All right, well, before we let you go here, I'm sure there's got to be some fans you got to shout out to, give a thank you to, some sponsors on that truck of yours.
I want to thank Greg and Joe Sixpack Racing and you with the Turn 3 broadcasting. Can't wait to go back and watch the YouTube video. And then on my truck, I have Hollis in Shearwater for scuba diving.
Alrighty, awesome. Well, congratulations, Brad. Hopefully you can carry this momentum into the future, and I look forward to hopefully talking to you again here. Have a good rest of your night.
Thanks, you too.
Alrighty, folks, that was our second place finisher, Brad Yorkman in the 93. Now we'll talk to our winner in the 51 machine, the man of the hour. We'll talk to Levi. Levi, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, man. How was that 51 machine? You put on a pretty good clinic here tonight with leading the most laps and having some dominant stretches of leading this field.
It was a fun race. I honestly didn't expect to do that well. I hopped into like a 30-minute practice a little bit earlier and got a nice line going for speed, and then found something that I could save some tires on, and it was a fun race. I honestly just had a blast out there wheeling it around. Dover's a fun track. The trucks are a really good setup on the track itself, and it was just good racing up front. I didn't see much of what was going on behind me, but
yeah, I don't know if you caught anything in that rearview mirror on that last lap, but there was some major carnage, and it was definitely fun to call throughout this race. So
yeah, Doug had a fast truck tonight. He would earlier in the run he had a little bit something, and I was kind of saving my tires a little bit, and then the fall off was a little bit. So I was getting kind of nervous there at the end if I should pit or not, and I just stayed out, and it worked out for me. So
yeah, I was amazed with the amount of trucks that stayed out with that caution flag that came 10 laps to go. How tough was the decision for you to make that decision inside the car to either stay out or come in?
That first caution there with 10 to go, that was the tough decision for me. I was really debating on coming down, and then I just figured I'd stick it out. I would hate to lose it like that, so I was going to lose it from the front if I was going to lose it. And then that second one was a no-brainer because I stayed out on the first one, so
yep,
a lot easier decision the second time around.
Yep, for sure there, Doug. Well, for anyone listening, maybe, do you have any pointers here for how to drive this place? It seemed like you're one of the drivers to drive it in the deepest in the corner and make it stick. Any pointers for anyone listening at home?
The biggest thing that I found with Dover on this setup was to save your tires, you had to enter a little bit lower and just baby the throttle a little bit more on the bottom instead of entering middle and then working the truck down to the low line and then being full blast on the way out. You blow the front right tire off the car over the run. So to save tires, a lower entry was the key for me.
Alrighty, well, you heard it there from Levi. The way to do it around here, Dover, if we ever come back here with this league. So, well, Levi, you're repping a pretty sweet Gravedigger scheme here tonight. I'm sure there's some fans out there watching or sponsors on this truck that you got to thank before we let you go here and celebrate it down in Victory Lane.
Fairfield Auto Group, Fairfield Motorsports, those guys are the best. Fletcher for doing my paint for me. Anytime I want a paint done, he dials it up and does it for me, so I appreciate that. And thanks this is a new league for me. I want to thank everybody at Joe Six Pack Racing for putting on a good first race. I was impressed with how the league is being run so far, so awesome job.
Yep, so, I mean, if this is your first race, you're already batting 100, Levi, so pretty good odds here. Looking forward to the season as it unwinds here.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll fall off. There's a lot of tracks I struggle at. Dover's one of my better tracks, so it'll be a fun season. I'm looking forward to it.
Alrighty, Levi. Well, congratulations on tonight's big win here tonight. An awesome way to start off the season. Go celebrate it down in Victory Lane with your crew. I'll wrap up here in the booth, and I'll meet you on down there after.
Thanks, Brett.
Alrighty, folks, and that was our winner, Levi, in that 51 machine. So he had an awesome race here tonight, put the clinic to him. So we will quickly look at the schedule here up on screen. Overall, we got a lot to look forward to in this series with this schedule. couple of good wild cards as Orrin Park and Watkins Glen towards the end of the season. So some cool stuff to look forwards to in this league. I'm definitely pumped up for it. Got to give a shout out to Soma Coffee, of course the Joe Six Pack Podcast, Pay to Win Setups, and that DGJ Custom Designs. I know I'm going to go get some flack on that if I got that wrong. So, but overall, we'll go through the results here and run it on through. So the results from tonight's race, we got Levi McCarthy in the 51 machine out of Fairfield Motorsports, bringing it home in P1, parking it in victory lane. Second place is Brad Yokman in the 93. Third place is Doug Neal with that couple awesome saves to somehow bring that 978 home in third and on the podium. Fourth place is Richard Whiteback in the 31. Fifth place is Eli Raposa in that 20 machine. Sixth place is Nigel Patton in the 108. Seventh place was John Humphrey in the 4. Eighth place was Kevin Gironi in the 22. Ninth place was Jason Wiley in the 13th. Rounding out your top 10 was Ethan Michaels in the 01. 11th place was Keith Fonesca in the 61. 12th place was Gene Cato in the 8. 13th was David L. I'm going to have to ask him how to pronounce the name. Still won't get it. Maybe by the end of the season, folks. 14th was Rob Lowe in the 5. 15th was Wes Frank Norman in the 72. 16th was Marty Brown in the 41. 17th was Al Reed in the 3. 18th was Johnny Baker in the 6 car. 19th was Michael Rosenberger in the 55. Rounding out your top 20 was Scott Forrester in the 85. 21st was Matthew Wheeler in the 21. 22nd was Jeff Crosby in the 33. 23rd was Greg Drass in the 64. 24th was Joe Nielsen in the 76. Bringing it home. 25th was Wayne Dewey in the 11. 26th was Brandon Ward in the 88. 27th was Darrell Wells in the 45. And rounding out your field, did not take a lap, was James Krause in the 69 machine. Well, folks, what an eventful way to start off the season. A bunch of spills, a bunch of thrills. Looking forward to seeing what is on tap for this league. Be sure to tune in next week at the same place, same time. Brought to you by yours truly, Brett the Jet, in the booth here at Turn 3 Racing Network. Got to thank all the sponsors. Got to thank the league for putting this on, putting together a great show. All the league sponsors that I listed there before. And of course, stay safe, have a good night, and remember, just flew by you.